It's time, guys. It's officially declutter time, and I am so excited. The last time we did a declutter was about almost 6 months ago. Even though you guys recently did see a declutter marathon, that was just reusing old content. But we are officially back for the holiday season to once again go through my collection to see what I want to keep and what needs to go bye-bye. So for today's video, we're going to be decluttering this entire drawer right here. I'm going to be going through my primers, my foundations, my concealers, and my setting powder. I'm hoping to cut this in half. We'll see how well I do. So you guys want to see how the first episode of our declutter series goes, well then definitely keep on watching. All right, guys, so we have a helper today. We have Koa over there that wants to help out, and then we have Kaya that wants to be part of it as well. So here we have my primers, my foundations, my concealers, and my setting powders, along with some eye bases that you guys see right here. This drawer used to look nice, and now she's beginning to look a little cluttered. So we're going to actually set up the camera, and I'm going to pull things out, and I'm going to kind of go hard on this collection because I generally don't use as much as I thought I was going to use. I made a goal to myself that if I didn't pick it up since my last declutter, then I think it's time that it needs to go. So I think that is what I'm going to hold true to today. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up, guys, and we're going to get this started. So here are my primers. I actually decluttered a lot of primers in my previous declutter, but I still feel like I have too much sitting here that I just generally don't use. So we're going to try to be a little rough with this, and I generally just want to keep what I actually use. So starting off, we do have this Milk Makeup Pore Eclipsing Primer. This thing is like empty, and for some reason I still have it in my collection. So we're going to go ahead and toss this. This is actually one of my favorite primers. If you have oily skin, this is going to be a godsend for you. So I'm going to declutter this one because I do have backups, but this is also empty. Next, I have the Ciate London. This is the Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. I actually just got this in PR. So I remember trying this before, but I don't really remember what my thoughts are on this. Is it even meant for oily skin? Instantly refreshes and moisturizes before makeup application. Featuring, so this is a unique aqua serum primer, grips foundation for long wear with an added glow. I'm not entirely sure I will get a lot of use out of this. I still feel like I should try it because it's been a long time. So I'm actually going to save this to give it a try, but hopefully I like it. Next up, I do have the e.l.f. This is the Power Grip Primer with Niacinamide. I actually generally really do like this primer. Even though it doesn't do as much for like oil and pores, the way it just grips onto the foundation makes it freaking fantastic. So I'm definitely gonna keep this. Okay, so up next we have the Murad. This is the oil and pore control mattifier. Listen, Murad sent this to me and I've tried it out. This is more of like a moisturizer and sunscreen than it is an actual like primer. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because it does not work for priming. I still get oily because I don't know what it is. Whenever there's anything with SPF in it, my skin just does not like it. If it's like at the beach or I'm at the pool or I'm out in the sun and I just wear SPF, then my skin's fine with it. But I get super oily with anything SPF. So this having SPF 45, it just, oh my God, the way that I break out with my oil is just unreal. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Up next, we do have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So this is generally not meant for oily skin. Now I've had this for a year now, and because I did go through my other one, and I feel like, is this the right color? Is this the right color? I hope it's the right color. I'm gonna have to look because I think I have a backup of this. If I do, I don't know, but I really do love this primer. I really do love this primer. Surprisingly, even though I have oily skin, this works really well on me. So I'm going to keep this. Up next, we have the One Size Secure, their Blur. I generally do like this primer. It's great if you have really oily skin. It doesn't necessarily stop the oil from coming through. I still get a little bit oily, but it just kind of keeps everything together. It makes my makeup last a lot longer. So we're going to definitely hold on to this. So I have the Kimchi Chic. This is the FN Primer top. This is the FM primer. Now, I really loved Kimchi powder. The setting powder for this is truly phenomenal. They have a setting spray. I don't really think that the primer does much for me in terms of controlling oil. So we're going to go ahead and declutter this. I used to be so obsessed with the NYX Marshmallow Primer, but I generally don't use this anymore. It's a fantastic primer. It's so smoothing. It helps to make the skin look nice and smooth, but generally I have not touched this in a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. I bought this for a challenge, for a review, and this is horrible on me. This literally makes your skin glow, and this is an oily skin nightmare, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. This is the ColourPop No Filter Primer. This is a nice primer, it generally is. I feel like if you pair this with the ColourPop foundation and concealer, this generally is a nice this generally is a nice little mix together. But if I'm not using the ColourPop foundation, I generally don't really grab for this. So unfortunately, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Next, we did the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I really love this. I feel like the NYX Marshmallow Primer is very comparable to the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I really do like the Silk Canvas. It really makes my skin nice and smooth. And even though it's not the best for oily skin, there's something about pairing this with the Milk Hydro Grip that just makes me fall so in love with the combination. So we're gonna go ahead and keep this. This Revlon Matte Primer, surprisingly enough, it does so good. I'm so surprised by how much I actually liked this primer. I don't know. There's something about Revlon when it comes to their products for oily skin that they just get it. They just get it. So we're absolutely keeping this. I hated the one size primer the first time I ever tried this. It was horrible. Now, whenever I do like take this out, my product kind of seeps through and it's kind of gross looking, not gonna lie. It looks actually really nasty, but this does such a good job for oily skin. So we're definitely going to be holding on to this. Next, I do have my Tarte. So this is the Tarte Smoothing like Timeless Primer. Listen. This is shit for oily skin. However, I genuinely really enjoy this because this fills in my pores. So whenever I'm doing a no makeup look, like whenever I'm going out and I'm running errands and I just want my pores to be filled in because otherwise they look absolutely disgusting in real life. You can clearly see I have large pores. This fills them in like no tomorrow. And sometimes I'll just take a setting powder or powder foundation and put it right on top of this. And this just does a really great job at making my face look really even and smooth and really helps to hide those large pores. So I'm absolutely keeping this. You know, I got this in the beginning of last year. This is such a cool concept. It's like a jelly that you just like put on and like melts into the face, but I don't really use it anymore. Like I really like the consistency of it. It feels like water when you put on the face, but I just don't touch it enough to really justify keeping it because I haven't really used it in the last 6 months. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. And lastly, we do have the Winky Lux. This is the Jelly Bear Primer. This is okay. It's kind of like the NYX Bear With Me. It's just, I don't know, it's a hydrating primer, so it's not really good for my oily skin. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and declutter this, but it smells amazing. All right, so up next, we do have the Nakia Joy Cosmetics. This is the matte base primer. I do like this primer. It doesn't have as much of a longevity as I wanted to compared to its setting powder. The setting powder for this brand is my ultimate favorite setting powder. It is truly the best. And I just wanted the same thing for this matte base. It's still a really great matte base. It does have a little bit of a tint to it, so I'm definitely going to keep holding on to it. This is just more of one of those primers that I wear if I want to wear makeup for like 4 or 5 hours versus all day. See, I told you I have a backup with the Milk makeup, so holding on to that. This is my absolute favorite primer if you guys cannot tell, and I do have 2 backups. I bought one and then I was sent one, so we are definitely going to be finally unboxing one of these and putting it back in my collection because the other one has been empty for a hot minute. So I tried this one time. I feel like I should give this some more. I feel like I should give this another chance before I just toss this. This was gifted to me by Heather. Heather really likes this, and she has really oily skin like myself, and she said this is really good for helping her she said this was really good for making her makeup last all day. So we're gonna give this another chance. At first, I was not liking this because it just felt so greasy and oily and I just was not a fan, but my makeup actually ended up looking really, really good. So we're gonna give this another chance. What would I do without the ultimate base? This is the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smoothing Blur Drops. You guys know that I do not go a day without putting on this serum. This is the best serum I have ever worked with. I absolutely hated this at first, but I gave it another go and I fell so hard in love with this. So I am definitely keeping this, although this one is pretty much like empty. There's like nothing left, but I went ahead and I bought another one. So I'll declutter this one and I'll bring out my new one. So I got this little YSL primer in a little advent calendar, and I feel like I only tried it one time. So I'm going to give this some more chance. I'm going to give this another chance. If I don't like it, it will be decluttered in the next round of declutters, but I just recently tried this. So I feel like trying it one time is not enough for me just to declutter it. So I'll keep this for now. Okay guys, so before I move on to foundations, I will let you know that I will tell you guys the amount of primers and the amount of foundations and concealers and setting powders that I kept at the end of the video, and I'll show you guys everything that I decluttered and give you guys the overall number of what I kept versus what I decluttered. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to foundations. Okay, so here are my foundations. Let's get started. So we're gonna start from the back and work our way forward. So up first, we do have the Merit. This is like a concealer and foundation into one. Surprisingly, I don't hate this. This is one of those foundations that you just want to wear if you're running to the store or you're running out to do quick errands, but you don't want to put on a full face of makeup, but you want to look like you're alive and not just like dead, aka me. So this is actually something I'm going to keep because this is a great stick just to quickly throw on the face, add just a little bit of life and color to the face, and making your face look like it has a nice healthy complexion with a nice little subtle glow with an even complexion, and I really do enjoy that, so I'm keeping this. Okay, so up next we do have the Smashbox Always On foundation. Y'all, there's something about this foundation I really love. For some reason, this just works amazing on my skin. I don't know if it's the base I have underneath, I don't know if it's the products I have on top, but this lasts me all day. I still get a little oily, but it looks more glowy. My foundation does not separate, it does not cake. This looks freaking fantastic, which is really shocking to me because every Smashbox product that I've ever tried, I absolutely hated. So I was really surprised at how much I genuinely really like this foundation. So I'm definitely keeping this. So I'm going to declutter this, not because I don't love it, but because there's literally nothing left. This is empty. I have been keeping an empty foundation in here to remind myself to go pick myself up a new one. I absolutely love this foundation. If you have oily skin, this is going to be for you. This has such amazing longevity. It's long lasting. It's full coverage. They have different shade range, and this has been my absolute go-to drugstore foundation for years. It's not my favorite drugstore foundation. There is another one that does top this, but this has been my go-to for years. This has survived my serving shifts at Disney for, I don't know, the last 7 to 8 years when I was serving. This has been my go-to foundation. I have been truly so obsessed with this. I just need to get a new one. So unfortunately, this one is being decluttered because it's pretty much empty, but we are going to buy another one in its place. This took me by surprise. This is so full coverage. A little bit of this goes a long way. This is very heavy on the skin. However, I did wear this all day, and god damn does it make your makeup last all day. Like, I did not get oily when I wore this, but this is one of those foundations I will not wear on a daily basis because it is so full coverage and so thick that I would wear this more on special occasions, but I'm definitely keeping this. This is an oily skin's best friend, so we got to keep this. This is a great foundation, but honestly, I just don't really ever use it. I never really go back into it. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't pick it up as much as I wanted to. So I think because I haven't really touched it in the last 6 months, I think it's time to go. I have the One Size Turn Up the Base BB Cream Blurring Balm. Honestly, I don't really use this as much as I thought I was going to. It doesn't really do much for oily skin, surprisingly, because like everything else is geared towards oily skin when it comes to this brand. But for some reason, there's something about this that just does not work for me. So we're going to let it go. The NYX Bare With Me Blurring Foundation. Surprisingly, this is actually pretty full coverage. It does a great job at lasting all day. And I actually really like this, so we're gonna keep this one. So I got this past year because I've been really getting into drugstore. This was actually a lot of fun. You put this on your hand and you rub it into your face. My only problem with this is that this shade is too deep for me. This made me look a little orange. So for me, I do have to declutter this one. However, if I go find a lighter version than this, I will absolutely get it again because this was a lot of fun to play with. It lasts all day. It was very beautiful on the skin, but this is just too deep for me. Somehow this has survived 2 declutters and it's still yet to have been opened. So I'm going to go ahead and just pass this along to somebody else. I think we'll get a better use out of this. I've never tried it. And at this point, it's been here for almost a year and it's never been opened. So it should still be good because it has never been opened. But at the same time, I've never used this and I really wanted to. But if I haven't tried it after a year sitting in here, I feel like I'm just not going to. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass this along to somebody else who I know will get a better use out of this than I will. Perfect foundation for the summer season. This is very full coverage. This is very full coverage. It's transfer and sweat proof, although you still get a little bit of transfer and you still sweat through it. But it really is good for oily skin. It's pretty expensive for what it is. I'm definitely going to keep holding on to this because I only wear this during the summer because it's a little too deep for me, but it's a beautiful foundation. The KVD Good Apple Serum Foundation. I actually really like this foundation. I was surprised at how much I really enjoyed this, so we're going to keep this one. Yes, I have oily skin. This works out really nicely for me, so we're absolutely keeping this. I sat on this for so long, and I don't know why I did. This is a very beautiful foundation. It's very full coverage. It's very long lasting, and I really enjoyed this foundation a lot, so we're going to be keeping this. This is such a beautiful foundation if you love lumosity to your face, if you love glowing skin. However, for me, I cannot wear this one by itself. I do have to mix it with another foundation because it is just so glowy. So because of that, I am going to go ahead and just declutter this just because I want to wear foundations by themselves. I don't want to have to sit here and mix and match. So we're going to go ahead and let this one go. Here we have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. Another beautiful foundation. It pairs very beautifully with the primer and the setting powder that I was telling you guys about. But unfortunately, I don't really grab this one anymore. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. There's nothing wrong with this foundation. It's a really nice foundation. It's very full coverage. It's actually really drying. Like it makes my face kind of like hard and feel like I have cement on, but I just feel like this doesn't get a lot of love. I don't grab this one as much as I wanted to, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. I am surprised by how much I love this freaking foundation. This is such a good foundation. This is very long lasting. I do get oily, but it turns more glowy than anything else. It doesn't break, doesn't separate. It's a beautiful foundation. I'm keeping these. We have the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I usually like to pair this with the NARS Light Reflecting Radiant Foundation. Such a gorgeous combo. Keeping. This is my absolute favorite foundation in the entire world. You guys can see it's gross looking. She is very, very, very well loved. This is an oily skin's best friend. This is my holy grail foundation. This lasts you all day. There is something about this foundation that I truly cannot get enough of. This has been my go-to for over a year now. I'm so happy I discovered this foundation. It's truly a godsend, and I'm absolutely keeping this. As you guys can see, I will definitely be having to get another one soon because we are getting pretty low. This will be the third time I've repurchased this foundation because of how much I absolutely love it. So if you have oily skin, this is going to be for you. But they also have a normal to dry skin version of this as well that I hear is just as fantastic for normal to dry skin as well. We have a Chanel foundation. This works really beautifully. It smells amazing. And surprisingly, if you have oily skin, this works really beautifully with the oily skin. So I'm definitely keeping. This is another holy grail for oily skin. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. This will last you all day. This is great if you have oily skin and textured skin. This does not budge. It does not transfer. It does not lift. It does not let oil seep through. Definitely a must keep. Got this for a fun video challenge, but this does not work for my skin at all. It's very beautiful, but if you are oily, ooh, stay away from this. This is not meant for you. So we're decluttering. So Heather sent this to me. This is the Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. That's a beautiful foundation, but I am just generally not really a big fan of it. I tried it 2 more times after that video and I just really can't get into it. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. This is a must keep. This is great. Even though this is not meant for oily skin, oh my God, there's something about this foundation that I'm truly just so in love with. Absolutely keeping. Everybody was so obsessed with the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. Why? I don't know. It's not really meant for me, but I'm also not really a skin tint person. So I just feel like I'm going to go ahead and declutter this just because I never use it. So this is the same exact foundation that I just showed you guys, but this is the older version. They did reformulate. This is the older version. I really like this one, but I feel like I prefer the new one over this one. So I'm still going to keep it as a backup, but should I just declutter it and just get a new one? They don't even make these ones anymore, honestly. Like they stopped making these. They stopped making these, I think, since last October. So I feel like I should just buy myself. Shit, what should I do? I'll figure this one out. I recently just got this. I'm still trying this out, but so far I really do like it. It's definitely not meant for longevity for oily skin, but it looks really pretty for the first couple hours. I do get a little oily when wearing this, but I'm still testing this out, so we're going to keep this one for now. We have the Estee Lauder Double Wear Powder Foundation. I had the refill by accident, but this is freaking fantastic on the days that I just want to throw on a little bit of coverage on the face without having any oil seep through, so we're definitely keeping this. Now moving on to concealers. You know what's so funny is that so many people out there are obsessed with concealers, and concealers are like my least favorite makeup product besides brows. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like truly not obsessed with them the way that other people are. So I feel like this is going to be quick and easy for me. So up first, we do have the Fenty Beauty. This is going to be the eye brightener right here. This is absolutely fantastic. I really do enjoy this concealer. I wish I had a different applicator because the applicator sucks, but I really love the coverage of this. So we are going to be keeping this one. We have the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This actually works really nicely. I really do love how my under eyes look whenever I wear this. So we're going to be keeping this. This by far is probably my favorite concealer as of right now. This does really good at hydrating the under eye. There's no cracking, there's no creasing with this. It doesn't sit in any nook and crannies underneath the eye. It just blends out very beautifully, so we're absolutely keeping this. I recently tried this. I haven't used it as much as I wanted to, so I'm still going to keep playing with this. So for now, it's being kept, but if I don't use it a lot by next summer, then we're going to be getting rid of it. Honestly, I really hate concealers that are like this. These are so annoying to work with. It's a nice concealer, but it's definitely not my favorite, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. We have the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. I don't ever really touch this. I bought it for a video, tried it out, and I haven't really touched it since, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. We have the Born to Glow NYX Concealer. Again, I'm not really a big fan of these type of applicators. They're just not fun for me to work with. I didn't really care. Not really fun for me to work with. I know me personally, I'm not gonna really gravitate to this one as much as I do other ones. So we're gonna go ahead and let this one go. I have 3 Dominique concealers. I really do like Dominique Cosmetics. I like their concealers, but I don't know why I have 3. So I think I'm just gonna keep one and declutter the other 2. Next we do the Ofra Perfect Concealer. I really do like this concealer, so we're definitely gonna be holding onto this. It's very full coverage, it's very lightweight, it blends really nicely and lasts you all day, so I'm keeping this. I think I'm gonna let this one go. It's really pretty, but I just feel like I prefer the e.l.f. over the ColourPop ones, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. It's like 20 bucks for this damn concealer. It's nice, but it's definitely not my favorite. I prefer other concealers. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this applicator. You kind of just have to put it underneath your eye and like blend it out, or put it on a sponge, or put it on a brush. I don't really use this one as much as I thought I was going to, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Same thing with this Milk Makeup Futuristic Concealer. I know a lot of people out there hated this concealer. I did like it, but honestly, I just don't use it as much as I thought I was going to. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I bought this for a full face of NYX, and I still have never done that video. At some point, guys, I promise that I will. So I'm going to hold on to it for that and give this another go because it hasn't even been opened yet. So as you can see, I really loved my ABH Good Apple Serum Concealer. This is such a beautiful concealer. It's pretty much dry at this point and almost empty because I used so much of it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I'm going to take a picture of this so I can remember what shade to get because I generally really do love this concealer. I thought it was beautiful. So I'm going to let this one go, but we are going to get a new one next year. Okay, so this drawer right here, this is all my eye bases. I'm keeping all these because like I'm not decluttering them. I do have a Glossier concealer and a NARS Soft Pot concealer as well. I'm keeping those. But I wanted to let you guys know that I am decluttering Gerard, Canvas, eye base. This just never really gets used. It doesn't really work for me, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I'm also going to be decluttering the Ultra Ego eye base. There's nothing wrong with this. I just use my P. Louise far more than I use this. Same thing with the Jaclyn Cosmetics eye base right here. Again, there's nothing wrong with this eye base. It works really nicely, but I just prefer my P. Louise eye base right here. This is the only thing I wear for eye bases, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep this and just declutter the rest that I don't use. Okay, so moving on to setting powders. Now, this is where the magic happens in terms of making my face last all day. This is the magic that you guys see right here. So we're going to go ahead and dive straight on in. So I'm going to start off with this one right here. This is the Lunar Beauty. This is the Universal Translucent Setting Powder. This is absolutely fantastic. This blurs the skin, making your skin look so nice and smooth, but it really does help to lock in that makeup all day. Now, is this my holy grail? No, but it's right up there to one of my top 2 favorite setting powders, or more like top 3 favorite setting powders. If you have oily skin, this is going to be for you. This works really beautifully. And of course, if you wanted to, you guys could use code Allie, which will save you guys 10% off. I have been using this powder in secret for so long, so I did get to test it out to make sure it really does work for oily skin. And I really do love this, so we're absolutely keeping this. Up next, we do have the Revlon Candid Anti-Pollution Setting Powder. Honestly, I am not the biggest fan of this. I know Heather really liked this, but I prefer different Revlon setting powders. So unfortunately, this just isn't going to work for me, so we're going to go ahead and declutter this one. So this is my Dominique Cosmetics setting powder. You can tell that she is very well loved. Now, the reason why I'm going to keep this is I don't really use this for like setting powder the way you're supposed to. This setting powder in particular, oh my gosh, is it amazing for blending out eyeshadow. I am not the best blender out there. Believe me, I wish I was, but I am not. There's something about this setting powder that you just tap onto the shadow that really helps to diffuse it and blend it out beautifully. I really love the setting powder for this. I'm keeping it for that purpose. I don't use it for anything else. I do have a code with them. It's code Allie if you want to save 10% off on purchasing anything from Donnie Cosmetics, but I will say this is the best for blending out eyeshadow. It's why it's so dirty. Up next, we do have the Nakia Joy Cosmetics. This is the Velvet Finishing Powder. Y'all, this is my #1 setting powder for oily skin. If you have oily skin, this is your holy grail setting powder. I put this on my makeup and oh my gosh, is it literally lock in my makeup and last all day. I do not really get oily whenever I wear this. It is my true favorite. I have talked about this setting powder for years, so this should be no surprise. I'm keeping this. I do have a code. It's code Allie, which will save you guys 15% off when shopping at Nakia Joy Cosmetics. Let me tell you, this is a godsend. I'm truly obsessed with this, so we are absolutely keeping this. So I tried this setting powder. It's not bad, but it definitely leaves a big white cast on the face. It's supposed to be translucent, but let me tell y'all, it's not. It's not translucent. I look like Makeup Mary with this. I look really scary whenever I wear this setting powder. So we're going to go ahead and let this one go just because I really don't touch it as much as I want to. So we're going to let this one go. Up next, we do have the Givenchy. This is the little mini prism palette. I just recently got the setting powder. I'm still trying this out. So we're going to keep this one for now because it's still being tested. Unfortunately, this does have a little bit of glitter to it. And I was told that the one that I got, which is like the #2 Saint Blanc one, is the only one that has glitter to it. But there's something about this. It smells incredible. It does help make the makeup last a lot longer. So we're going to be holding on to this one. This was such a disappointment. I really wanted to love this setting powder from Milk Makeup, but this didn't do anything for my oily skin. I don't know why. This just did not work out for me. I was super disappointed because I absolutely live and breathe by the primer and by the setting spray, but this setting powder just couldn't cut it. It just could not cut it. So we're going to go ahead and declutter this. Up next, we do the Revlon. We have the matte setting powder right here. Surprisingly, this works really nice, but then I shouldn't be surprised because the primer and the setting powder because the primer and setting spray for this brand, again, works so beautifully. I really do love the setting powder. It's great for oily skin, so we're definitely gonna be keeping this. I feel like powders are my hardest thing to get rid of because I generally do love a good setting powder. Okay, so up next we do have the Nakia Joy Cosmetics. This is the brightening under eye powder, so it has a nice little like pink tint to it. I'm keeping this because I do like to have a little soft brightening underneath the eye. This is really good if you want to just have like a soft little brightening moment, a little blush moment. I don't use this all over the face because it is very brightening, but it's still really great setting powder. Same thing with the Lunar Beauty. This is their under eye brightening powder as well. It's a nice little pink one. So we're definitely holding on to this because again, I know how great this powder is. And sometimes it's nice to have a bright under eye. So testing this out, I just recently got this for my Sephora VIP haul and for like my birthday. So we're still gonna be testing out this powder. This is in the pound cake. I'm gonna definitely get a use out of these before I consider buying the full size. I really do like this, but I'm still testing it out. Oh, and now that we have another Nakia Joy Cosmetics, this is the pressed powder version. And again, I absolutely live and breathe for this powder. This is great for the days that I'm just putting on that Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer where I fill in my pores. I go in with this right on top of it to press it in. And that's literally all I do. And it is a game changer for the days I just want to have no makeup on, but just look like I have a nice even base. I cannot live without this. We have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I only use this a couple times. It's not meant for oily skin. So for me, I know I'm not gonna really dig back into this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this along. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Same thing with the ColourPop. This is the No Filter Loose Setting Powder. This actually works really well with the primer and foundation. But if you use anything else with this, I find that it doesn't work as well. I feel like it only works well with their products and their products alone. So because I don't just stick to ColourPop, I feel like this won't really work best for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. We have the OPV London Setting Powder. I got this like in a BoxyCharm box. I don't really ever use this. I tried this out. It's not really for me. I'm not the biggest fan of this. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter this one. I have the Ofra Cosmetics. This is the mattifying primer. This is the mattifying setting powder. I really do love the setting powder. I think it works great for oily skin. Unfortunately, I don't pick this one up as much as I used to within the last couple months. So because I don't gravitate to this one over some other products, I'm gonna go ahead and let this one go. Y'all, there is something about this e.l.f. HD powder. Now, this is not meant for oily skin, but my God, does this look absolutely beautiful on the skin. It makes you look like you have an airbrushed foundation on. It actually lasts quite a bit, but I do mix it with other products, so that's probably why. But this looks absolutely beautiful on the skin. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this, but I cannot let this one go. Even though I don't use it as much as I want to, there's something about it that is just so freaking beautiful. I'm definitely keeping this. 2 more Dominique Cosmetics setting powder. It's because I'm on their PR list. They did send this to me. So we have a translucent and we have their Rosita. I actually haven't tried this, so I do want to try this out, but this is just a backup and I'm going to be keeping this, but I'm actually going to be moving this to a backup drawer because it's just taking up space. And I do have a special setting. I do have a special place in my drawer for backup makeup. So we're going to go ahead and move this one over there. Up next, we have my Kimchi. This is the Puff Puff Pass setting powder. I have talked to you guys about this setting powder for years. If you have oily skin, this is going to be amazing for you. I do have some product left. I don't have as much. It's very, very little that's left in there. So that's why I do have that backup. So this is probably going to last me just like another month or so, if that, because like I said, I do have just enough in there, but there's really not much left to it. Like there's not as much left because this gets so well loved, but this is a oily skin holy grail product. It is absolutely amazing. You will not really get oily when wearing this, and I pair this with the Nikki Joy Cosmetics Velvet Finishing Powder, and this is just so freaking good. We're gonna go ahead and move my backup to my backup section. Next, we do have the La Mer. This is a $110 powder. This is so heavy, but this is so worth it. Now, it's not the best for oily skin, but it does do a great job at trying to contain as much oil as possible, but it blurs the face and gives you a nice airbrush finish. I can't get enough of this, so we're keeping this. And it's also $110, so I'm not ready to part with this yet. I kept this in case I travel, but honestly, I don't really travel that much, so I'm gonna declutter this. Still great product for oily skin, so we're gonna hold on to this one. Okay, so this is how the drawer is looking like right now. I'm going to clean up this entire drawer. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to reorganize everything. I'm going to show you guys what I kept, what I decluttered, give you guys the total number of each, and we're going to kind of go from there. So let me go ahead and clean this up, and I'll be right on back. So this is what the drawer looked like before. And this is how it looks now. Definitely a lot more emptier. So let me go ahead and go over everything. Okay, so I had 20 primers starting out with. I actually decluttered 8 and I kept 12. So I kept more than what I wanted. But you guys know every 6 months I'll be going through here. So back here, I just put No rhyme or reason for this one, just because I'm kind of putting it more, I guess, based upon size. Like the heavier ones are going to go in the back, and then we're going to move our way forward. So I don't really have as much room on my primer side as much as I want, because I really realize how much I really like primer. So I had 20 in total, but I did declutter 8 and I kept 12. Okay, so here is my foundations. I actually had 26 foundations. I kept 15 and I decluttered 11. So almost half. I got rid of almost half, which I'm really, really, really excited about. So this one had a little bit more rhyme to reason to it. So I just kind of put like my drugstore in the very front. I kind of put my high end, but like stuff that you find at like, I don't know, Ulta and Sephora. I put my really expensive foundation back there because these are like, I think this is like 80, 55, somewhere in the 50 something range, even though some of these are the same way too. I just kind of put them there, and then I just kind of put the rest back here. But I kept 15, decluttered 11, which I'm really, really excited about. There's so much more room to this. There's nothing behind there. Now there's nothing behind there. I just feel like it looks so much better. I can see things a lot more, and these are the foundations I'm gonna be using for the next 6 months. Obviously, if I get more foundations to try out because it's my job, then I'm going to, but we are going to be using these foundations. And now I can actually see a lot more, which I'm really, really excited about. Nothing changed for the eye base. The only thing I added over here is just the Dami Cosmetics setting powder. I added that over here because this goes along with, I guess, essentially my eye base, since I use it specifically for blending. Okay, so for concealers, I actually started off with 16 concealers. 16 concealers. I kept 7 and I decluttered 9. So I'm actually really happy with that. I decluttered more than I kept, which I'm really excited about. These are just 2 that I don't necessarily count, and this one I'm still testing out, but I kept 7, decluttered 9, and I'm very, very happy with that. And then lastly, we have our setting powders. So I had 21 setting powders. I kept 13 and I decluttered 8. Still a really decent declutter in my opinion. So even though I kept more than declutter, it's still more than half, which I'm really excited about. It looks so much better now. This is my more used drawer. These are items that have more like the pink stuff that I need to kind of, these are more of like my pinky setting powder, but these are the ones I'm going to be using the most right here, the most accessible, putting my top 3 right here. So overall, I'm actually very, very excited about how this looks. It looks so much better than what it did. And I just kind of put my 2 little mini ones right over there. These are like my more high-end ones right over there. And I'm really, really happy with how this looks. So overall, I feel like my drawer looks so much better, even though we definitely kept a little bit more this time than we did declutter. I'm still very happy with it because we still decluttered a lot of items from my collection. I pretty much got rid of half, and I just feel like this looks so much better. I'm so excited with how clean and organized this looks and doesn't feel so cluttered. So here's everything I'm decluttering. I'm actually very happy with how this turned out. It feels so good to get rid of items that I haven't used so I can make room for some new ones and to keep using the ones that I still have in my collection. So this is my declutter pile, and this is everything we have left. Now I want to let you guys know that for tomorrow's episode, we're going to be hitting, God, are you guys ready? We're going to be hitting this drawer right here. Ooh, she is packed, and we need to seriously go through this and really declutter this collection because I hate seeing this drawer as packed as it is, because it's a lot. It's a lot. So stay tuned to this for tomorrow. Also, don't forget, guys, that tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am doing my Christmas giveaway. I'll be live on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will have 10 winners win 10 different Christmas gifts from me. So come on out, come say hi, and come celebrate the Christmas season with me. That is it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel. It's R for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful ventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes these beautiful, wonderful, amazing patron members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.